Hello and welcome to SUMIFS. My name's Jeff, I'm glad you're here. Let's just jump right in. All right, the SUMIFS function is one of my most favorite Excel functions. And by the end of this video, you'll feel comfortable using it with a single condition, multiple conditions, and multiple conditions on the same column, which is pretty cool. Let's head right to Excel. Exercise 1. Okay, the SUMIFS function is a multiple condition summing function. What does that even mean? It means we want to add stuff up, but we only want to include certain rows. Certain rows that meet one or more conditions. Now the SUMIFS function is not to be confused with the SUMIF function. Now the SUMIF function is also a conditional summing function, but it only handles one condition. The SUMIFS function handles multiple conditions. And since it can also operate on a single condition, I just use SUMIFS. I don't use SUMIF. So the first argument is the sum range. That's just the column of numbers to add. So we want to go add up this column of numbers. We only want to include certain rows. And so the remaining arguments come in pairs. The criteria range, the column, and the criteria value. So it sounds like this. We want to add up the amount column, good, but we only want to include those rows where the account column comma is equal to our account. Close function and enter. And now we've got it. And now we can fill this formula down. And let's just confirm we have a total of 4838. Let's go to this table. Let's click table design. Let's add the total row. And sure enough, 4838. Hold on, Jeff. I could do this with a pivot table. I could do this with the group by function. I could do this with the pivot by function. Of course, we could also do this with Power Query and VBA and other options. But the thing about the SUMIFS function is it works in almost any type of report format. In other words, this example happens to be in a format that would work really well with a pivot table. But what if you're building financial statements? What if you're building income statements? What if you're building cash flow statements? Well, not all of those fit within the structure of a pivot table. And that's why it's really nice knowing how to use the SUMIFS function, because it can create formula-based reports. And with formulas, we're not tied to the structure of a pivot table report. So it's a pretty good function to know. And I use it all the time. Now that we're warmed up, let's go to the next exercise. Exercise 2. Now let's go ahead and use this with multiple conditions. Equals SUMIFS. Once again, I want to add up this column of numbers. And by the way, here I'm using tables, but the SUMIFS function works with ordinary cells as well. Comma, I only want to include those rows where the region column, comma, is equal to our region, comma, and where the product column, comma, is equal to our product. Close function. Before I hit enter, let's review. I'm asking the SUMIFS function to add up the table 2's sales column, but to only include certain rows. The remaining arguments come in pairs. The criteria column and the criteria value. So I only want to include those rows where the table 2's region column is equal to my region and where the table 2's product column is equal to my product. Close function and enter. And now we've got it. So that's how we can use the SUMIFS function with multiple conditions. Let's go to the next exercise. Exercise 3. Now we'll use the SUMIFS function and we'll use multiple conditions, but this time the condition column is going to be the same column for both conditions. It sounds weird, but it's actually very cool. Let's check it out. Equals SUMIFS. Here we want to add up the sales column, comma, but we only want to include certain rows. We only want to include those rows where the date column, comma, is equal to our start date, comma, and where the same date column, comma, is equal to our end date. Time out, Jeff. This is going crazy. I know. Just bear with me. What do we expect to see when we hit enter? We expect to see 0, right? Because there are no rows where the same date column is both equal to the start date and the end date at the same time. Let's find out. Close function and enter. And sure enough, 0. No rows meet that condition. So Jeff, you're crazy. I might be crazy, but watch this little modification. What we can do is we can say, instead of including those rows that are equal to our start and end date, what if we used some comparison operators? Some greater than or less than operators? Well, what we could do is say, add up all those rows where the date column is, and then we could go greater than or equal to B7. And the way that we do that is we enclose the comparison operator, that's the greater than or equal to, inside of quotes. And then we combine it to the value in B7 with a concatenation operator. In other words, the ampersand. So what this pair of arguments is saying is include those rows where the date is greater than or equal to the date in B7. That's our start date. And where the date column is, and here what we're going to do is less than or equal to the value in C7. And once again, we enclose the greater than or equal to in quotes, and we join that with the concatenation operator. In other words, the ampersand. Close function and enter. And now we can actually go ahead and fill this down. And so this is adding up the rows that are between these two date values. And since this is sorted in ascending order, we can kind of check this out. It should include those rows between January and March, which is here. And the sum down here is 3340. That might be hard to see, but it is 3340, and that agrees. And this is 41 to 630, 41 to 630. And this is showing 3565, 3565. And this is totally dynamic. So I could say I only want to see it from January 1st to January 31st, 2030. And it updates. So whatever values we put in here are going to impact our results. So that's how we can use the SUMIFS function with a single condition, multiple conditions, and multiple conditions that operate on the same column using comparison operators for the date values. I use this function all the time. It could be my number one most used function. I'm not sure. I have a couple of great functions that I love, but it's definitely in the top 5. So hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Hey Excel user, if you ever need to create summary reports, check out my Pivot Table for Beginners video. It starts at the beginning and shows how to store the data transactions in a table and then how to summarize those transactions with a pivot table report. I hope it helps unlock the incredible power of pivot tables.
This video is a production of Excel University.